Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Bytes and Bytes. I can never get the title right. Bytes and Bits. Today we're back onto computer components, and we've got in front of us not one but two RTX 3090 graphics cards. That's kind of it. We could end the video there. That's exciting enough. Between these two cards, we've got 20,000 compute cores. We've got 48 gigabytes of GDDR6X memory. So we've got a pair of incredibly powerful graphics cards. Obviously you can't buy these cards anywhere at the moment, so we're very lucky to have them. And I've done a couple of videos on this one here, which is the air-cooled Aorus Extreme. It's top of the line card from Gigabyte. And you can see, check out the other video for our reaction, but it's got this beefy air cooler, triple fan design, and as I said before, a 8-pin power delivery system. So, great card. The only downside to the card is, and this applies to all the 3080 and, in my experience, the 3090 cards, they have memory modules on the back of the PCB. So if we imagine I'm holding the PCB upright in its horizontal orientation, you've got a GPU core on the front of the PCB, power delivery systems under this cooler, and we've got memory modules. Because the 3090 has a huge amount of memory, almost an indulgence of memory, it's ridiculous, 24 gigabytes. They've spread the memory 12 gigabytes onto the front and another 12 memory modules, 1 gigabyte each, on the back of the card. The problem is GDDR6 runs hot as hell. If you overclock the memory, the whole card will thermal throttle because the memory junction is getting ridiculously hot. And you can see a video, which I'll add in a card, another video from us, which just shows the temperature increase over time, and then you get thermal throttling because of that. The problem with the Gigabyte card, in my opinion, is that the backplate, which is this plane of metal here, is very thin, flimsy aluminium. So we've got heat plates or heat transfer pads that take heat from the memory modules into the backplate. The problem is the backplate becomes soaked with heat. You can't get any more heat off. You can see there's no fins here. There's no perforation to allow air to flow through the card. There's nothing. It's just a very thin and soon to be very hot sheet of aluminium. So this is a design flaw, in my opinion. So that's the air-cooled version, and then recently we've got almost a very similar card, same manufacturer, same PCB design, I would hazard a guess, but this time we've got this all-in-one cooler. So you can see there you've got the 240mm radiator, and you've got two fans here, and the idea is, underneath this shroud there's a big copper plate, and the plate, I've looked at the design marketing material from Gigabyte. The plate actually covers not only the GPU core but also the front side memory modules and various other components like the power delivery system, capacitors, that kind of thing. Now there's no secondary fan here like you would get on an EVGA all-in-one water-cooled high-end card. So we're just trusting that the water going through this radiator system, obviously the pumps built in here, can cool the card as effectively. So what we're going to do is run both of these cards into the same conditions. We're going to overclock the memory and we're going to see which one runs hotter. We're going to use hardware info to reveal this information. So we're going to cut the video now, guys, and we'll come back with the results. Okay, so what we did, we ran both the cards into the same conditions, and we can see that this system is more effective at cooling the GPU core, which I think went down to mid-30s degrees Celsius, very, very cool under load. This one was a little bit warmer, probably in the mid-40s. Let's be fair, both are still very, very cool. The size of this air cooler, absolutely massive, so it's going to take a lot of heat away. The study with the memory overheat, and specifically the memory on the back, unfortunately showed that because you've got a very thin backplate, again, there's no active cooling on the backplate, the water cooling system is marginally better at cooling the memory on the back, but still, this is not an effective system to cool memory on the back side of a 3090 PCB. The memory modules ran over 100 degrees, super hot. I think here they topped out at 108, and here they topped out about 102, 104. So, okay, we take a little bit more heat off the card, but it's still not an ideal temperature for memory to be running at. If you want to use these cards for workload, professional workloads, or cryptocurrency mining, you're going to struggle with both because you're going to be putting high excess loads on the memory. With this card, I really don't think it's worth the excess in price that you pay to get the water-cooled solution. If you're gaming and you want a super cool GPU core, then great. I mean, this might be an option for you. Again, it's whether you can get either of the cards if they're available. But yeah, unfortunately, the results show that even water cooling doesn't help the problem with the hot memory modules. This also has implications for adding your own water block onto a card like this. If this system isn't able to soak heat off the back, it means water cooling these yourselves. Maybe use a Barrow, a Bike Ski, or EK water blocks kit. Unless you actively cool the back of the card, you're not going to get the result you want. So sadly, we've got the continuation of the problem with the 30 series cards. And until active backplate cooling becomes a thing, maybe a revision by the manufacturers, we're still going to be stuck in this situation. But that's it from me. Hope you found the video interesting. And please do like the video, please comment down below. And if you really like the content, please subscribe and follow the rest of our content. I'll see you in the next one, team.